Quick spoiler: I am not curing diabetes, so it's going to be a lower bar presentation. So don't hold me to that one. I also do not have a poem written, so going to be disappointing on a number of angles. So the quick story of Hallow and how it got started and what we're trying to work on and all that is really just a story of my own faith journey. So I'll start there. And then kind of weave in how we've got started with it. But so I was raised Catholic largely just by sheer willpower of my saint of a mother who dragged me to Mass every Sunday. But that's the extent, essentially, of how I engage with my belief system. And very quickly, as is common among people my age, fell away from my faith and became atheist, agnostic for most of high school and college. I would still, and my girlfriend at the time, now wife, another saint, so we're in the presence of two here today, but would drag me to Mass every once in a while during our Notre Dame career. But if I had to pick, I'd probably say that my philosophy aligned most with kind of the new atheists of the world, like any of those big guys. An interesting thing happened, though, when I graduated. For anybody who's familiar with Headspace and Calm, there are these really popular meditation apps that a bunch of people, especially in our generation, are using. There's like 70 million downloads, something crazy. But I was really interested in meditation for some reason. And I started using one of these apps. I was actually debating whether to go to India for like a 2-week retreat or whatever, but an app was a lot cheaper and easier way to try it out in my living room. They're framed a lot as, they're oriented a lot out of Eastern techniques, but they're framed a lot as, hey, this will help you reduce your stress and anxiety. It'll help you with your stress and anxiety problems, which is super helpful. As I did it, you could definitely feel that. But the interesting thing for me was there was a very weird evolution whenever I would get into some type of meditative zone. And again, still being agnostic at the time, was super surprising, but it was this feeling that I was not alone. Which was pretty creepy, but also really powerful. Anyway, it was this feeling that every meditation session was kind of leading me to some type of spiritual experience. The issue with the Headspace and Calms of the world is that they're all having to be super secular, so they're focusing on mental health and wellness in a very secular way, so they can't address any of the faith or spiritual roots that they come from. And so for me, all of those sessions felt like kind of a warm-up to a spiritual experience and then kind of just stopping short, not really ever getting there. And so we started actually talking to a bunch of our Notre Dame rectors, brothers, sisters, people who knew anything about the faith world, and just asking, hey, is there any way that this whole meditation thing and this faith thing intersect at all? And the answer that we got was, yeah, we've been doing this for 2,000 years. It's called prayer. Contemplative prayer, meditative prayer. You should probably try it. It's a pretty important part to your life. And so I did. I learned all these things that I had never known before, but all this Ignatian spirituality, the Examen, Lectio Divina, all these old Latin words that I never knew. And so I bought a book. As my wife knows, I like to buy a bunch of books, but this one I actually read, and sat down in the morning and tried a Lectio Divina session. And Lectio Divina, for those of you who know, well, a mindfulness meditation session is just using your breath, and you just focus on your breath in and out to center yourself. A Lectio Divina session actually isn't all that different, except instead of using your breath, you meditate on a very short passage from Scripture, and you pick one word or something that sticks out to you. Anyway, I tried this Lectio Divina session and just was in my living room, just broke down in tears. It was the most powerful experience of my life, other than our wedding. And she's here, so she's always watching. But it was this beautiful combination of like when you meditate, you get this kind of mental feeling of peace and focus and calm. It was that beautiful kind of mental feeling, but combined with like this depth of like, what am I supposed to do and what is my purpose in life? And actually the passage that I meditated on was where Jesus teaches the Lord's Prayer, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. And hallow was the word that stuck out. But it was like wrestling with, hence the name of the company, Hallow. But was wrestling with this like, okay, well, how am I being called? Hallow means to make holy. How is God trying to make me holy? How am I letting him make me holy? How am I supposed to be making other people holy? Am I supposed to be hallowing God's name? How does that even work? But it was this like struggle with this depth of meaning and purpose. So anyway, it completely changed my life. I am now, my Catholic faith is a super core part of who I am in a bunch of different ways. But then it was not even, it's too obvious to call an idea, but it was, hey, I was using Headspace every day for the rest of my life, this mobile app, which was this really powerful, like audio-guided tool to walk you through how to meditate. And I was going to use that for the rest of my life, so we might as well found this new, incredibly powerful technique, might as well try to build that same type of thing, but based in this Christian and Catholic faith and tradition. And so we did, and that's what we started building it and launched it about 8 months ago or so. And it's been super exciting. Let's see if this works. I don't know where to point it. There we go. It's Hallow. It's on the App Store. You should all download it. That's the plug. That's the only ask. Hallow. But it's just a super simple audio-guided meditation app. You can choose from 5, 10, 15 minutes, and a guide is there, a much more calming and soothing voice than my own, but to lead you through a type of faith-based meditation session. And so we launched in December about 8 or 9 months ago. We just last week cracked, so we're the #1 Catholic app on the App Store, which is exciting, but I've seen really great traction. It's a super humbling experience to be able to be a part of people in their faith journey. I think the new angle that we're trying to take to it, if this works, and for the 20% of people or so who get this joke, is, there we go, we got it. Is like the religious world is so usually hey, this is what you should do and why, and teaching versus, and kind of this ornate, traditional, beautiful presentation versus kind of a fun, lighthearted, approachable, hey, you and I are friends trying to figure this thing out together. And I think especially for folks in our generation that resonates a ton, and so that's kind of the voice that we're trying to bring to the faith world. But anyway, that's kind of the whole story of why I'm here, super humbled and blessed to be able to talk to you guys. You should download the app. But yeah, and obviously just the super quick summary of my story is I had no idea what I was doing, and good old JC came and changed my life, and now I still have no idea what I'm doing. So but anyway, thank you guys.